3:20 is the final on their home field here at SoFi Stadium in Super Bowl 56. The Los Angeles Rams
Music
are
licensing
world
reimagined.
champions. 3.
This is The Manning Show with Ewan Manning. Your number one sports podcast starts now.
What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to The Manning Show right here on Ewan Sports Network. I am your host, Ewan Manning. It's Tuesday. We're doing a new schedule. I've graduated high school, and I am locking in full-time on this stuff. It's Tuesday, which means it's time for the Tuesday Huddle, which is where we get into all NFL stuff and football related. It's a weekly stop for everything around the NFL. Every week we'll break down the biggest headlines, give our opinions, and make predictions, and get you ready for everything happening around the league for the full season. So let's huddle up and let's get going here. Thursdays, what we'll do on Thursdays is we will do basically our NHL stuff, Oilers stuff, bring on guests, Elk stuff, just have more creativity in what we want to do. But I wanted to branch out. That will be called the Thursday Report, and this is the Tuesday Huddle. So I got a good episode today. And basically, if you're not watching on YouTube, you may be listening to it on podcast. I recommend watching on YouTube. You can just check out the Manning Show on YouTube, because what we're going to get into is we're going to do some fun stuff today on this episode, because I just thought we could do a few fun things. There's not a lot of stuff going on in the NFL. Obviously, we had the draft already and kind of the offseason. So, a lot of stuff ended up happening. The one big one for me is obviously the Los Angeles Rams ended up signing trading for Myles Garrett. But we got a fun episode. We got our segment 1. We're going to be tier ranking all the NFL quarterbacks. Our segment number 2, we're going to see, I wrote down a few teams, and we're going to see if they're a contender or a pretender, in my opinion. We got an NFL stock market. So I wrote down some things. Who are we buying? Who do we think is going to do well this season? Who is going down in their stock? And then we got a fact or fiction segment. Okay, so I wrote down a bunch of statements that some people would say, and I'm going to say if it's a fact or if it's fiction. And then I got the final segment, who has more to lose? And I wrote down a bunch of teams as well. So there's a lot of similar stuff on here. But yeah, and then the final segment, who is overrated or underrated? So let's get going. Okay, I'm going to share my screen right here. Okay, and we're going to rank every quarterback in the NFL with me. So for those of you that don't know, basically, this is a tier ranking. So it has all the different letters: S, A, B, C, D, F. S is the best, A's next, B's, then C, then D, then F. Okay, so S, it's kind of simple. Like S tier, you're above. You're like elite. You're top of the top. And then A, B, C, D, obviously, are all solid. And then F's a fail. So, we're going to rank it from start to finish. I got all the quarterbacks right here. Shout out to whoever made this. But let's get started. Okay. Because this is going to be interesting. I think a lot of people are going to disagree with my takes. But let's get started here. Kyler Murray. Okay, Kyler Murray. He's on a new team this year, the Minnesota Vikings. He's really dealt with injuries. We haven't seen him play in a long time. There's a battle between him and J.J. McCarthy. Apparently, he hasn't looked fabulous in camp. I'm going to put him D tier for right now, okay? He's never, he had one good, really decent season. The Rams dominated them in the playoffs. They had an excellent start. But since then, he's been hurt. He just hasn't been the same. He hasn't found his footing. Still an unbelievable athlete, and I think there's still a chance he can definitely get back because of how athletic he is. But he's just so small and hasn't found his footing yet. So that's where I'm going to put Kyler Murray D tier. Jacoby Brissett, D tier. I put him probably I'll put him behind Kyler Murray, but obviously he had a pretty solid year. He was a solid quarterback for Arizona last year. It's not much more to say. I mean, he's not a guy that's going to win you a Super Bowl. That's D tier. Michael Penix, C tier. Okay, Michael Penix, he finally got the reins last year. The Falcons can just never get to that next step. Okay, he was average, maybe below average. He's not in that B tier range yet. So, right now he's C tier for me. Okay, this is not a guy who's going to go out there. I don't think he's a Super Bowl winning quarterback, but he had a solid rookie year at times. And I just think, that he has an elite offense around him. He's got to be able to find ways to move the ball. So I have him at C tier. Kirk Cousins, in his new place with the Las Vegas Raiders, I mean, he's F tier. I feel like that's fair to say. Like, this is not a guy who's going to go out there and win football games for you right now. He is very washed up, and to put it simple, he's F tier. There's no other way of saying it. Kirk Cousins is F tier. Okay? Lamar Jackson. Now, this is a very interesting name. I think he's going to come up multiple times in this episode because he had a very disappointing year last year. I took him in fantasy, and this guy did not live up to his expectations. Did not do well. Obviously, they lost off the missed kick in the playoffs against the Steelers this year, but he just struggled. Like, it wasn't the same Lamar Jackson. I know he was battling with some stuff, but it just wasn't the same guy. I don't really know what was going on. But I'm going to put him with the way he played last year. He is B tier. I honestly didn't think that he was enough to say, hey, this guy's A tier. This guy is B tier. He gets a B grade here. Okay? I think he could definitely elevate that. He could be even S tier. But right now, where I stand off the way he played last year going into this year, he is a B tier for me right now. Okay? Josh Allen, he's S tier. I mean, the guy is unbelievable. He does it every year. And I know he chokes in the playoffs, but he gives his team a chance to win every time. They need to get to that next game in the playoffs. If he doesn't get that this year, I put him A tier. So I just think he's an elite quarterback, and you can't really argue that. He's so good. But this is where he is right now. Okay, next, Joe Burrow. This is an interesting one. The Cincinnati Bengals, man. Are they legit? Because whatever it is, they can't seem to figure out, and Burrow battles injuries and stuff. But when Burrow is healthy, he is A tier. He is A tier. It's just really simple as that. He's an elite quarterback. He's one of the best in the league. They just need to figure it out. I don't really know how else to put it. Like, he's so good. 6'4", 215. This guy could take his team to the Super Bowl. He only played 8 games last year. 66.8% completion percentage, 1,800 yards, 17 TDs, 5 touchdowns. So when he was in the game, he took a lot of sacks, 17. But when he's in the game, he is elite, man. Like, he is a good quarterback. But for whatever reason, he struggles to stay healthy. Right now, I'm going to put him in A tier going into the season. But that can definitely change. Okay, he's probably the bottom of A tier. Joe Flacco. Is he even still playing in the league? What is up with Joe Flacco? Okay, he's still on the Bengals. Okay, interesting. I thought 41 years old, Joe Flacco, he's D tier. I mean, he's probably behind both these guys. Yeah, he's behind both Kyler Murray and Jacoby Brissett, but he's D tier. I mean, he's not a fail, but he gets the job done, right? He gets the job done. Shador Sanders, D tier. I mean, he's not good. Really simple. I don't even really need to break it down. The guy's not that good. He might have some talent, but we're gonna see. I mean, it was his rookie year. Didn't have a lot of reps. We'll see if he can figure out ways to, make things happen. But right now he's D tier. Dylan Gabriel, D tier behind Shador Sanders, D tier. I mean, would I rather have Joe Flacco starting than Shador Sanders and Dylan Gabriel? Maybe. Maybe. But for right now, we're going to throw Joe in between. I'd rather have Shador Sanders than Joe Flacco, but I'd not rather have Dylan Gabriel. Okay, simple. Bryce Young. This is a really interesting one for me. Bryce Young. Where does Bryce Young think he is this year? An excellent postseason. Probably should have knocked out the LA Rams if it wasn't for the dog that they got up front. But he had a great postseason and carried these guys throughout the regular season. I thought he was excellent. Bryce Young for me is A tier. I mean, it's crazy to say he's probably the bottom of A tier, but this guy had an unreal season. I'm high on him going into the next season. It took him a little while to figure it out, but he is A tier right now. And in the playoffs, would I rather have Bryce Young started than Lamar Jackson? Yes, with the way they were playing. And I think that's not hard to debate. Caleb Williams, A tier. Giant step. He's ahead of Bryce Young in my eyes. Giant step. Could have beaten the Rams as well in the playoffs. Both those games were way too close for me. But Caleb Williams took a step. We're going to get into him later in the episode, so I'm going to save that for that. But right now, he's A tier. I have him behind Joe and ahead of Bryce Young. Dak Prescott, B tier. Behind Lamar Jackson. I mean, always heard, let's try and find time for these Dallas Cowboys to finally take that step forward and win some more playoff games. I don't know when it's going to be, but it's got to happen soon. Okay? He's my B tier. Bo Nix, B tier as well. I got him in between, in between Lamar and Dak. I like Bo Nix better than I like Dak Prescott right now. And, Bo Nix played pretty well until he got hurt in the postseason. I think they win the Super Bowl. I really do. If Bo Nix stays healthy, they definitely win the Super Bowl. The Patriots should have not been there. So I Bo Nix at B tier right now, and I had a Dak Prescott. Mostly because, they got to that big game. I think it's simple to say, Dak Prescott, people are going to be like, okay, well, they're going to make arguments on Dak Prescott not getting into this big game, but Bo Nix got there. I know they had an unreal defense, but they got there. Jared Goff. This is a really interesting one for me. I'm not too sure where to put Jared Goff in this case. It's very interesting to me where he goes. Right now, he's B tier. Probably the bottom of B tier. The Lions took a step back. It's pretty simple to say, and I think their window is kind of closed, which is wild. But I don't think you win a Super Bowl with Jared Goff, and that's the truth. That's why the Rams traded him. This guy doesn't win you a Super Bowl, okay? We saw it with the Rams. He's not going to win them a Super Bowl. Yeah, I was looking at a clip yesterday about Sam Darnold after the Rams beat the Vikings and being like, this guy doesn't deserve an extension. They're never going to win a Super Bowl, blah, blah, blah. So I could be wrong, but I don't think Jared Goff's going to win your team a Super Bowl. We've seen it year after year. Jordan Love. I think he is B tier. Okay? I have him ahead of Dak and Jared Goff and Bo Nix. Great quarterback. Packers just got to find a way to take that next step. Okay? Because for whatever reason, he's a very up and down guy. And when he's playing well, he is unreal. And when he's not, it's eh. Malik Willis. Interesting. Excellent backup quarterback last year for the Green Bay Packers. He played phenomenal. He signs an extension. He tests free agency and goes to the Miami Dolphins, who are needed a quarterback. Tough to say. Really interesting to say. But right now, for me, he's C tier and he's behind Michael Penix. We have to see more from him. If he has a good year, we'll see. Oops. Okay. CJ Stroud. Without a question, he's C tier. He's been awful since his rookie season. Awful. He needs to take a step up. It's simple as that. He needs to get back to that level where he was playing in his rookie season. He's A tier quarterback. But right now he's C tier because he hasn't been that great. They have an unreal defense and their offense is non-existent. He's C tier. Daniel Jones. Very interested. Was on a MVP type season until he got hurt with the Indianapolis Colts. He was good. Very good. You know, I'm really curious to see. He got an extension. It seems like his health is looking better now, according to reports. Right now, with the way he was playing last season, I mean, I put him at the back of B tier, but I guess we'll see. He's hurt. Anthony Richardson. I mean, where is this guy even playing? He is... This guy... He's still at the Colts. He's the 4th overall pick. He is F tier. He is garbage. I'll give him D tier. He stinks. Like, simple as that, he stinks. They brought in Phillip Rivers to play quarterback. The Indianapolis Colts did. Anthony Richardson is D tier. Trevor Lawrence, C tier. He's mid. I'll always say this. Trevor Lawrence is a mid quarterback. I have him at the front of C tier, but he's mid. Like, come on. He's not a great quarterback. Patrick Mahomes, he's always A tier, okay? I have him ahead of... I mean, I thought he took a step back, so I have him behind Joey B, but he'll always be A tier. Like, as much as I hate the Chiefs, like, the guy is so good. I have to have him, though, just behind Joey B. It's as simple as that. He's behind Joey B. Justin Herbert, B tier. Okay, I have him ahead of Jared Goff. I think he can win more games, and then ahead of Dak Prescott. But he can't win a playoff game. Like, the guy needs to find a way to go out there and win a playoff game. It's simple as that. He's B tier. Matthew Stafford. Now, people are going to say I'm biased, but I'm basing this off the way they played last year. Matthew Stafford won the MVP. That means he was the most valuable player. That means he was the best quarterback in the NFL. Right now, I mean, okay, right now I have him behind Josh Allen. It's going to be hard to do what he did. I have Josh Allen ahead of him. Okay? In S tier. Simple as that. You know, it's a big year for him. If he has the same year, the Rams are winning the Super Bowl. It's simple as that. Geno Smith, Jets quarterback. He is D tier. Geno Smith's a bum now. Okay, I have him ahead. I think he could win more games than all these guys in D tier. So I'm going to have him at the front of D tier. Tua Tagovailoa. I think he's also Jets. Look at this ball knowledge by me. Oh, he's Falcons, right. Okay, Tua. Desmond Ridder and him, I'm assuming... Or not Desmond Ridder. Michael Penix. Desmond Ridder's not in the league. I wonder what the latest update with them is. Because obviously Michael Penix is coming back from the ACL, so we'll be curious to see. But I have Tua. He's F. He's probably D tier. I'll put him ahead of Geno. He's D tier, though. He's not a great quarterback. I don't think he deserves C tier yet. He's not there. JJ McCarthy, F tier. I mean, this is a fail. This is a fail for the Vikings organization. He's not that good. They spent so much. They had 2 quarterbacks in their hands, and they went with JJ McCarthy, and he's F tier. They put everything around him, and now they're realizing their chips are not worth it. F. Drake May, he's S tier. Put him behind Matthew Stafford only because he didn't win MVP. He had a great year. I still think he's not. I think he could be A tier. But with the way he played last year, it's S tier. We'll see because it's gonna be a different year for the Patriots. So we'll see once they get an actual difficult schedule. We'll see how they play. Tyler Shoe. Now, he had an opportunity to become. He was solid. Like this guy was. The Saints were laughed at for picking him over Shedeur Sanders. And he had a solid year. This guy, he was voted the rookie of the year, the NFL rookie of the year. Well, he was awarded the Pepsi Zero Sugar NFL rookie of the year. He was the runner-up for the NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year. So he won the NFL Rookie of the Year voted by fans, and then the actual one, McMillan, won. But he had a solid year, and I think they have to take a step up. But for right now, I'm gonna put him at the back of B tier. I just have so many guys at B tier. You know what I'm gonna do? Jared Goff is gonna be top of C tier. Tyler Shoe is going to be behind him. Yeah, this is how I like it. Okay. And now looking at it, do I want Lamar Jackson over Bryce Young in camp? I'm not sure. I like this so far. Jackson Dart, C tier. I got him behind Tyler Shoe and ahead of Trevor Lawrence, but he's C tier. I mean, we'll see this year. Again, he's a quarterback needing to take a step. Is Jameis Winston even still playing? I think he's Jets, isn't he? Or he's still Giants. I mean, Russell Wilson retired, so we're just going to throw him on F tier. Jameis Winston, you are D tier, my friend. I'll throw you. I think I'd rather have you than Shedeur. Yeah, I'll throw him here. Justin Fields, F tier. He sucks. He's a failed prospect. Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts in my mind is always an A-tier quarterback. I got him ahead of Caleb Williams and Bryce Young. I mean, this guy just wins football games. I know the Eagles had a letdown season, but he's there. Okay? Aaron Rodgers. Everyone thought this guy was going to retire. It was his last run, and he runs it back with the Steelers. He's not Aaron Rodgers of old, and I think we all know that now. It's time to say he's C tier. I think he's behind Trevor Lawrence. I think he's right there in between Trevor Lawrence and Michael Penix in C tier. Okay, I think he got a better chance of winning games with him than Michael Penix, CJ Stroud, Malik Willis. Yeah, all these guys up behind him. I like Trevor Lawrence, Jackson Dart, Tyler Shoe, Jared Goff over top, for sure. Sam Darnold. And I judge guys by the way that they win football games. Sam Darnold is ahead of Drake May. And I'm really close to saying that he's ahead of Matthew Stafford, but I just don't think he is. That Seahawks team was so good, but Sam Darnold played phenomenally. I put him in S tier. He's right behind Matthew Stafford in my eyes, and I probably am biased, but he's there. Okay? Brock Purdy, I have to throw him in B tier. Okay? I like him over Herbert, but he's not an elite quarterback. This guy's a game manager, like I've always said. But he can win you football games, so I have him there. Mac Jones, I mean, he's D tier, but I also think he's honestly a top of D tier. I think I take him over all these guys to win you a football game right now. Maybe I got. It's hard to say. Jacoby Brissett didn't even play that horrible, but I got Mac Jones right now because he was iffy. Let's pull up what his stats were. 2,000 yards, 13 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, and 97 rating. That's not bad. Like, that's really not that terrible. He played some games, but this is where I got Mac Jones. I got him on top of D tier. I think he can win you a football game, and especially for the 49ers right now, he's a great backup quarterback. Baker Mayfield. I think Baker's been solid, honestly. I have him. This is a really tough decision, but I have him in B tier right now. I probably have him ahead of Brock Purdy, Bo Nix, Jordan Love, behind Lamar Jackson. I like that. I think Baker Mayfield's a better quarterback than all these guys that I just mentioned. He's a dog. I mean, he goes out there and wins you football games, and the Bucs are going to have to take a step up. And I know he lost some targets, but Baker Mayfield gets the job done. And he's really revitalized his career. He knows how to play some football. I think I'm going to change that. I like Jordan Love over him. Bo Nix, probably not. Herbert doesn't win big games. Neither does Dak. And Daniel Jones needs to be more proof. Cam Ward, interesting one. He had a good year. Let me pull up his numbers right now. Cam Ward. I thought he had a solid year myself. He can definitely look to take that next step, but 17 games, he had 3,100 yards, 15 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. Again, I think when you put the right stuff around him, he will be better. And I think they have the right guy at the helm. He looked like he could win some football games. Titans got some stuff to improve on, but he is ahead of Malik Willis and C tier. I still like CJ Stroud. We're going to send Michael Penix Jr. We'll send him back. I like CJ Stroud over Michael Penix. Jaden Daniels. Now, for him to get back to where he was with his Washington Commanders team, he definitely can do it. But right now, he's B tier. Okay? When this guy's healthy, he's good. He's really good, but we need to see him get back to that level. I like him more. I got him right here. We need to see him get back to where he was. Because, to be honest, even when he was healthy back at the start, he still wasn't that guy. So we need to see him take a step. I got him ahead of Daniel Jones, though. Marcus Mariota, I mean, he's a backup quarterback. Like he's just Do I like Jacoby Brissett to win games more? Yes. I like all those guys to win games more. Jameis, hard to say. I like him more. Shador, yes. Flacco, yes. Dylan Gabriel, no. Okay, that's I like that. Fernando Mendoza. I'm not doing these other two. I just don't think Fernando Mendoza. High hopes. Number 1 overall pick. Won the Heisman. Won the national championship. A lot of stuff to live up to. And he's honestly he's a great guy. He looks like the right guy to change the culture a little bit. And Las Vegas really needs it. They need something to change. But Fernando Mendoza, right now, I can't really grade him because I don't really know what it's going to look like. So I'm not going to grade any of these rookies because I just have no idea what it's going to look like, to be honest. Like, is he going to fully start from the jump? Who knows, right? There's a lot of questions surrounding that. So I'm not really sure. But this is my final quarterback tier ranking. Right now, with the way they played last season, this is where it is. Okay? Mark it. Put it down. 30-minute segment on that. We can finish that. But pretty solid. That's my ranking. I like it. I really do. Okay? We're going to save this so then I can, share. Ooh, that's kind of sick. Okay. Let's get to our next segment of the day. We've got a few more segments to get into. But there's some interesting ones, okay? We've got this is like we're gonna get into kind of just a deep dive. I wrote down a bunch of statements, and here's what I think based on them. Okay, it's almost like which NFL team had the best offseason? And everyone's going to be like, oh, here we go. And that's fair. But when you are a team like the Los Angeles Rams, okay, Matthew Stafford coming off an MVP season, you're just short. You're probably some corners away from winning a Super Bowl. The Los Angeles Rams had the best offseason. Myles Garrett, people are going to be like, the window's closed. The Rams don't close windows. They draft so well in the last few years that they can reopen windows. I mean, this team was old. They had OBJ, Aaron Donald, Matthew Stafford, Cooper Kupp, Von Miller, Jalen Ramsey, all these guys who were out of their primes. And now their team is right back to being there. And how I expected after that season when they went 5-12, hey, this is going to be a long rebuild. But they worked it back so quickly. It's unbelievable. And this is why I love this franchise, and I'll always stick with them because they make great decisions. Les Snead, he's a dog. The Rams at the best offseason. You go and make a trade for Myles Garrett, that's setting your team up for success. They did give up a lot, but they gave themselves that position. They made a great trade with the Falcons last year, trading their first-round pick for the Falcons, first-round pick next year, and some other picks. Okay? That's an excellent trade. Excellent. And the Rams benefited from it. They had 2 first-rounders last year, and they were able to make a trade. Just excellent stuff. Okay? The Rams, the best offseason. Is it the year finally for the Bills? Okay, the Bills, I don't know, man. They got DJ Moore. It's very interesting. They traded for DJ Moore. He's coming in and, it was a lot for DJ Moore. To be honest, I thought Buffalo won that, or not Buffalo. Chicago won that trade, but it was a lot for him. A lot. But Josh Allen's finally getting a target that is, being able to do stuff. I honestly don't think Sean McDermott is that guy. He wasn't that guy, and now Joe Brady's in. So I'm curious to see what this team looks like. Is it the year? It's got to be. I mean, their chips are in. If it's not the coach, then they have to figure out what it is, because for whatever reason, they just can't get the job done. So, is it the Bills' year? I'm not sure. I think I'll be able to tell pretty quickly. Can the Lions get back to the NFC Championship? I say no. No. I really don't think that they're that team. I mean, I could be proven wrong, but I just think there's so many better teams in the NFC right now. The Seattle Seahawks, the Los Angeles Rams, the Philadelphia Eagles, the Chicago Bears. I like all those teams over the Detroit Lions right now. And I thought they took a step back. I know they had a decent offseason, okay? They're expected to remove Penei Sewell to the left side and the right. They did a decent job in free agency. But I'm just curious to see what they do. They moved on from David Montgomery. I'll be curious to see what happens. I just don't think that they can get back to the NFC. I just don't think Jared Goff's the guy to do it. Simple as that. Jared Goff is not the guy to get you back to an NFC championship. There's a reason why the Los Angeles Rams traded him. Because he doesn't win the big games. He's won a few playoff games. Okay, I'll give you that. But he is not the guy. Look at who he has around him on this Detroit Lions team. They have a phenomenal team. But for them to get back there, they need to have some better quarterback play. Jared Goff's not the guy to win big games. He's a choker. He's a known choker. They're not getting back to an NFC championship game. I could be wrong. But that's just what I see. Another statement. Who has the most pressure in the NFL this season? This is a very interesting one for me. Very interesting. Okay? Because there's a lot of teams with pressure, right? A lot of NFL clubs with pressure to take a jump to the next level. And I'm very curious to see what some of these teams do. Like, some of them that come to mind when you think of pressure, Bengals, Ravens, Bills. Can they get back to where they were? I think the Chargers have, Justin Herbert has a lot of pressure on his back right now. The Chiefs have a lot of pressure. The Rams have pressure right now to get back. The Lions definitely do. The Cowboys, the Eagles, the Seahawks, I don't think have as much, but obviously they're expected to be back to where they are. The 49ers have some pressure. But a lot of these teams, the Falcons, have pressure to get to that next level. A lot of these teams have pressure to get to the next level, but the one that I single out the most in this situation is the Cincinnati Bengals. The Cincinnati Bengals, they need to get back to winning football games, and Joe Burrow needs to stay healthy. It's as simple as that. You know, after they lost the Super Bowl, everyone's like, oh, well, it's okay. Joe Burrow's young. They'll be right back there, and they just haven't been back there since. They need to get back to that level where they were winning football games. You have Jamar Chase, who is probably one of the, maybe the best wide receiver in the NFL. He's in my top 3. I'll tell you that. But they have to get back to winning football games, and the pressure's on them this season. Like, I'm really curious to see what happens because they need to find a way to keep winning, right? I think their front office is terrible. They got Dexter Lawrence in a trade. They bolstered it. Trey Hendrickson walked, so they lost the sack leader a few years ago. Jonathan Allen has joined to play next to Dexter Lawrence. Their defense needs to be better, and Joe Burrow needs to stay healthy for them to win football games. Pressure's on. Pressure is on. Biggest quarterback storyline coming into this year. Okay, you know, there's a lot of interesting things, but, I mean, Fernando Mendoza, without a doubt, is the quarterback storyline. With him, Kirk Cousins is behind him. I just ranked the tier list earlier, but I think he's the biggest storyline. Obviously, where, you know, is he going to start right off the rip, which I'm assuming he will, which obviously hasn't been the greatest. You know, a lot of rookie quarterbacks, people talk about, like, let's sit them behind a guy who's established, who's a veteran, they can learn off that, and then come into that position. But with how bad this Vegas team is, we'll see. Who's winning the NFC is my final statement. Now, I really do think it's the Los Angeles Rams, but the NFC is so good, I'm not really sure. It could be a lot of different teams. The NFC is an elite. Like, there's a lot of teams that I think could be there, and I'll tell you which ones I think could be in this position. The Eagles, obviously, they're an elite team. I know they traded A.J. Brown, but it's probably for the better for that team, to be honest with you. The Dallas Cowboys, I do not have there yet. I don't think that they're at that level. The Bears could be there. The Packers could be there. I don't think the Packers could be there, actually. I don't think they're elite enough. The Lions could be there. I don't see any teams in the NFC South being able to win. Unless Bryce Young is absolutely unbelievable, then maybe. The Seahawks and the Rams. Those are the teams that I can see winning the NFC Championship. It's a lot. There's a lot of options. And I'll be curious to see which one happens. But That's who I got right now. Okay? We'll get into another segment. I have, there's been some interesting things throughout last season. And I wrote down a bunch of statements. And we're going to see buy or sell. Okay? Am I buying or selling the Detroit Lions to win the NFC South? I'm selling. Really simple. I'm selling. I don't like where they are. I don't think Jared Goff's this guy to do it, but I think there's an opportunity for them to definitely get back to where they were. They don't have that combo in David Montgomery, Jahmyr Gibbs, right? They're just going to roll with Jahmyr Gibbs, which is probably for the better. But I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. There was a lot of issues last year with the Lions, and a lot of things went sour, and I'm selling that statement. Houston winning the AFC South. The Houston Texans, the AFC South is just trash. It's just a garbage division. The Colts should be better, I think. Daniel Jones had a great start, so I'll be curious to see. But I'm selling this. I don't think the Texans are great. They have a great defense. If CJ Stroud takes a step up, they're behind, but there's just nothing saying that he will. David Montgomery's their starting running back. I'll be curious to see, but I'm selling. I'm selling that idea. Caleb Williams becoming an S-tier quarterback. I'm buying. I mean, this guy has, it's taken a little while. They finally found Ben Johnson, who's that guy. And I think they could take that next step. They had an excellent year, and they could have beaten the Rams. But I'm taking that step up. I'm behind that statement. Okay? Dallas making a deep postseason run, I'm selling. I mean, Dallas is just garbage. Like, this is what their organization does. They don't win football games. I'm selling this. I don't think that they're there. Aaron Rodgers getting back to where he was, and the Steelers having a chance to win the Super Bowl, sell. There's zero chance. The Steelers are not winning the Super Bowl. I mean, if you really think they're winning the Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers, then, hey, have fun. But I can name you 10 different teams that have a better chance of winning the Super Bowl than the Steelers. That's a sell. They're not going to be a competitive team. I think they'll be competitive as they always are, but they're not competitive to win a Super Bowl or really win a playoff game, in my eyes. Are the Miami Dolphins going to figure it out? No. No, they're not. That's a sell. Okay. That was the final thing that I got. I don't think that that's a fair statement at all. Final segment of the day. This is kind of, I've taken a little longer. We've gotten that stuff. But I'm going to do my way too early predictions. Okay, my NFL way too early predictions. Because I want to be able to come back and say, hey, I made this prediction on camera. You can see it on Instagram. My way too early prediction. MVP. Okay? My MVP prediction this year is Josh Allen. And I think it's just a safe pick because there's a lot of these guys that there's questions for. I don't think it's going to be Lamar. I don't think it's going to be Joe Burrow. I don't think it's going to be Stafford. I don't think it's going to be Sam Darnold. Josh Allen has the best chance to win the MVP every year, and I have him there because he's just such an elite quarterback. It's hard for him to see him take a step back. I have him in. Offensive Player of the Year. Now, this is a toss-up. This is whatever guy goes insane. Okay, but I actually have Jahmyr Gibbs for Offensive Player of the Year. David Montgomery's gone, okay? They signed Isaiah Pacheco to be the backup, but this is a guy who is now getting all the touches. He was one of the most elite players in the NFL last year, and I think he can take even more of a step. I have Jahmyr Gibbs as my Offensive Player of the Year. I think he's really going to have to carry, and I think they have a great offense, and the ball's going to get moved around nicely. But Jahmyr Gibbs, this is his year. Defensive Player of the Year, Myles Garrett. The guy's a machine. He's gonna find a way to get enough sacks to do it again. This Rams line is so good that they are going to give him more opportunities, and he's going to give other guys opportunities. I have him as my Defensive Player of the Year. Offensive Rookie of the Year. Now, this is always a gamble, right? Like, I'm not really sure. You know, some guys play out. I have Jeremiah Love as my Offensive Rookie of the Year. Okay? You know, I really like his stock coming from Notre Dame. He is an elite running back. And they're showing a stat on all the elite running backs who got picked that high, and all of them are good. All of them are so good in the NFL now. So, I think just with saying that and seeing his stats throughout college, I have him as my Offensive Rookie of the Year. I think he can be on fire. He's going to get a lot of touches in this Cardinals offense. That's what I've got. Defensive Rookie of the Year. This is, this is one that I actually was a little surprised about because it was just really interesting to me that he fell a little bit. The Dallas Cowboys taking Caleb Downs with pick 11. I really like it for them. I have him. Unless the Cowboys find a way to mess him up, he is an elite defender. Okay? I think he's going to be very good in the NFL. And I like him as my Defensive Rookie of the Year. I think he's going to be elite for the Cowboys. The Cowboys find ways to get some decent corners, some decent safeties, and I thought it was a great pick. I really liked him. I thought he was best on the board right there. Super Bowl matchup, okay? And this is going to be biased. I'm going to be a little biased here. The Los Angeles Rams are going to be my NFC pick. Obviously, I think this is their year. They put the chips in. I think it's their year, to be honest. The AFC, I have no idea, really. Like, this is the hard part. I don't think it's the Chargers. I honestly am going to go with the Denver Broncos, okay? I'm going to tell you why. They should have been there last year. Their defense is going to be very good again. Bo Nix is good. They have a good offense. Great coach. I don't think it's going to be the Chiefs. I don't think it's going to be the Colts. I don't think it's going to be the Bengals or the Ravens, to be honest with you, unless they somehow figure it out very quick. And I don't think it's going to be the Bills, because the Bills find a way to choke. And the Pats, I don't think that they're that great, to be honest with you. I don't think that the Patriots, we'll see this year, but I don't think that they're going to be that elite as they were last year and as dominant. We'll see, but that's just my eyes. I don't think this Patriots team, we saw them get embarrassed in the Super Bowl. I don't think that they're that elite. And we'll see. But that's just how I see it, to be honest. So. But I just think it's the Rams here, to be honest. Hopefully it is, but I guess we'll see. Final segment. I wrote down a few guys and a few teams. Okay. Got them on my board right here. Overrated or underrated? Jordan Love. I was thinking about this yesterday as I was writing guys down. And I'm like, okay, who's tough to talk about and be like, where is he? Overrated or underrated? Jordan Love, where would he be on your scale? I think he's a little overrated, in my eyes. I mean, the Packers just haven't taken that step, right? I mean, they lose to Chicago. Like, they need to take a step, and it's simple as that. And I don't think Jordan Love has taken that step to the next level to be one of those top, 7 elite guys. Okay, so I got him a little over it. I think people talk a little bit too high of him. Brock Purdy, I think he's rated exactly where he should be. So I don't have either of them. I think he's not a guy who is super elite, but he's a guy that can win you some games, moves the ball around nicely, can, jump out and have some elite games, but he's not like a top 10. He's not a top 7 guy. Simple as that. He's a good quarterback, but he's not a top 7 guy. Simple. The Houston Texans, overrated or underrated? Overrated. They always are. They just seem like a team that hasn't figured it out. Now, I could be wrong, and we could come back to this episode at the start of the year and be like, oh, Ewan, you're not very smart, my friend. It's like, okay, well, Houston Texans, I got them as over. The Miami Dolphins, who knows? They're overrated. They just, we're not even going to get into that. The Philadelphia Eagles. I think the Eagles are underrated this season. I know that they traded A.J. Brown, but I like some of the moves that they made, and a lot of people rank their offseason as the best. Like, I was looking at an ESPN list, that they signed Tariq Woolen, but they traded A.J. Brown. They drafted Mekhi Lemon in the first round, which is actually not bad, to replace Tariq Woolen's great. He's really good. So he had an elite level play, and I really like some of these moves that they made in the offseason. The Eagles, I have them as underrated. I think that this is definitely a year where they can take it to the next level. The Kansas City Chiefs. This is the last one of the pod. 50 minutes. We've been rolling for a while. A lot of that was the tier list. Underrated. I think, there's a lot of talk about what happened with them last year, but I think they're underrated. Like, this is a team that is still very good. Patrick Mahomes, when he's healthy, is going to be good. I know they're aging. I know Travis Kelce is aging. I know they need more weapons, and I know Rashee Rice needs to figure it out. But I really do think when the Chiefs are rolling, when Mahomes is rolling, they find ways to win football games, and they're underrated. I really do think Mahomes is going to be right back for week 1, and they're going to be right back to where they were. So I think it's underrated. They have a chance to win the AFC, like they do every year. It's just gonna be a fun year of NFL. And I'm really excited to get into it, and hopefully I got some more ideas for episodes to come. But, just having these takes is kind of the way to do it right now, because the NFL offseason is pretty dry. You can go in and rank the draft, rank some moves, rank some more teams, make some more takes. But, it's going to be a fun year of NFL. There's a lot of great storylines and a lot of teams who can win the Super Bowl. That's going to wrap up this week's edition of the Tuesday Huddle. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. What is your biggest NFL prediction heading into the NFL season? I'd love to hear it. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to subscribe, follow the show, and share it with a fellow football fan. That would really help me out. You can find me on Instagram, EwanManning97 at Gmail, or, jeez Louise, I was giving you my Gmail, EwanManning97, or you can find me on TikTok, EwanManning97, The Manning Show on both Instagram and TikTok, and then Ewan Sports Network. You can always check out ewansports.com, where I will have everything uploaded and updated. I'm Ewan Manning. Thanks for listening. I'll catch you on the Thursday Huddle, where we'll get into the Edmonton Elks, who are on fire. The Edmonton Oilers, what kind of moves that they made in free agency. After the draft, we should have Reed Wilkins on that pod as well. I'm Ewan Manning. This is The Manning Show. Thanks for listening. Peace out.